Hello dear friends, this is a video from Melbourne. My name is Alex and I want to talk about coronavirus. I'm not an expert on this issue, but you don't need to be an expert to actually realize that that it's actually a bad thing happening right now. So we have a problem in Australia. I think the coronavirus begin to spread all over the world now. Germany has already human-to-human transmission in cases already, because people coming from overseas, from China, and they're spreading the virus. They're sick and they go to work and spread the virus to other people. So here in Melbourne we have only one case, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any infected people walking around in public and spreading the virus, because it has an incubation period which is horrible, 14 days or 2 weeks incubation period. So what can I say? The problem is that our government isn't doing anything really. They said we're on a high alert, blah blah blah, we prepared all that, but I think it's all just bureaucratic nonsense that they don't really care about people. I mean, they say they care, we care, but we gotta wait for the World Health Organization to decide what we're gonna do next. So they're waiting for advice, and they say there's no evidence of this, but there's doesn't have to be any evidence, because the virus has 14-day incubation period and you could be sick already without even knowing, not showing any symptoms. So the first problem with Australia is that the planes keep coming from China, from other regions, not exactly Wuhan. People came from Wuhan who had a contact and got sick. They excuse me. They some of them were they could have spread to some other people or not, but we don't know that. But I don't want to make people panic. I just want to give an advice that what we should do and what we should have done already. Well, first of all, we should have introduced the quarantine the people coming from overseas, and make them wait, I don't know, 2 weeks or something before they show the symptoms. But what they did, they let the planes in. They give them flyers or whatever, papers with saying that this is the symptoms you might have, and they just let them into the public. Just whatever, just go and do whatever you want, like go to work and that's what they do. They haven't done anything. Like, all the screening measures don't work. It's like they measure temperature. Some people can maybe sick, but you can only catch, but because this virus has an incubation period of 14 days, it's just it just goes without symptoms. People just go and spread it. So that's the problem. What we should have done, we should have actually introduced the quarantine, and or look at this. Sometimes I'm wondering, the villains countries like Russia and North Korea close their borders, stop trades with China, and they don't let any planes from China coming into the country. They took all the security measures not to spread this virus into the country. We're not doing this. It's just horrible. Like, I'm just saying, just let the planes arrive and let them go into the public. Whatever, like nothing happened, like there's no outbreak, but this is just the beginning. Today is 29th of January, and kids will go to school, and I don't know, the government isn't doing anything really, just saying, we asked them not to go to school for 2 weeks if they've been in China, if they traveled, but I don't know how much that will help. So what else I can say? Finally, Pauline Hanson said something logical, that we should stop the planes coming into the country, which was like, I was shocked. Actually, first time I agree with her on something. But generally, what can you do? Obviously the government isn't doing much, and if we have an epidemic here, the hospital will be packed with sick people, and we can expect the same thing that happened in China is going to be devastating for the country. I went to buy some masks, all sold out already. I went to Bunnings, I went to chemists, everywhere sold out. The gloves in supermarket all sold out. They put it on a special and people just, it's empty shell. I bought like last pack or something, or last third pack. And what can you do? How do you prevent yourself from getting sick? Well, my recommendation to people is that you need to self-isolate or self-quarantine. That's the only way you can probably survive this apocalypse. So not going to school, but people will criticize me for saying these things, but obviously, because they say, oh, who are you and why are you telling people not to go to school? I'm not telling you, I'm just saying that that's what I will do, probably just to keep my family safe and myself safe. And it's not a panic, this is just being logical. Just to keep not go too much in public, and just a self quarantine. So if you're an Australian citizen, and for now there is no outbreak of the virus in Australia, which is, for now we don't know what is going to happen in the future, but self quarantine is what we can do for ourselves, like just normal people. That if you can self quarantine, you should do it. Never go, this virus has a potential to spread, usually just a normal flu, through respiratory or sneezing, coughing, and even the eyes. If the virus lands on your eye, you can get sick. So I recommend people wearing gloves if you go out in public, wearing gloves, wearing a mask, and the glasses. Medical glass or whatever, like something to protect your eye from. So this is what I can say for now about this virus. But there's a lot I'd like to say, but I don't want to spread the panic. But this is the funny thing with me, though. I remember when SARS came out, I never cared about that virus. I never cared about what was the other virus that came out and that happened. But this time, I've become more aware of and what's happening actually what's happening in our country, in Australia, and what's happening in China. It's this, for some reason, this special virus, this particular coronavirus, is very dangerous. And even though it has a 50% of death rate, but they say SARS was more deadly. But the problem with SARS that it died out on itself because it wasn't spreading, but this virus actually spreading pretty, and has an incubation period, which is the scary part, because usually with SARS you have symptoms and you just need to be isolated because you become a spreader then. But with this virus, it spreads without you knowing it. You could be not sick for 14 days, 2 weeks, and then you can get sick, and we don't know because it's so early to say now. It's only January 29th, before New Year, before Lunar New Year, before a lot of Chinese arrived in this country. It's too early to say anything, but I'm just saying that if you want to survive this, if you want to stay healthy and survive this, it's probably better to self quarantine. That's the only way what we can do. Don't let anyone to your house. Don't answer the door. Don't if you go in the public to buy some food, wash your hands regularly, buy some sanitizers, spray your floor with anti-disinfectants, and make sure you don't touch any of your eyes in public or mouth, and wear a mask and glasses. That's all we can do at the moment. And that's not what I'm saying. This is what I got of internet, of people of experts saying that what we should do. Just wearing a mask not gonna help. The eyes also need to be protected. So because the virus can spread to the eyes. So I don't know what else to say. if you like this video, put a like. If you don't like, I'm not trying to spread the panic here, but I think that's what the precaution that we should do. And I know some people has to go to work, some people has to, but at least if you go to work, wear a mask, wear gloves. If you sit in front of a computer or touch things that where a lot of people touching, I don't know, try using a gloves. Try to protect yourself from this virus, so it doesn't become an outbreak like in China, because it can, and probably will down on Australia. It's early to say this, but this is still early. Anyway, so stay in touch. I'll put some more videos on what's happening. So for now we have only one case, but some people saying there is more, but they're just not telling us. So can't really trust the government. It's I don't trust any of this bureaucratic organization which should have introduced a quarantine long time ago. They should have quarantined everyone who came from China to our country, and make them stay there for a couple of weeks. It's not they don't want to spend a dollar on it. They don't want to spend a single dollar. They don't care about people. What's gonna happen. They just like absolutely don't care. They're just like, oh, yeah, it's, you look at the news, they talk about like Grammys, Kobe died, rest in peace Kobe, but they don't talk, there's not much about this virus going on, but it's actually a big thing. It's a big thing. It could be a apocalypse. So anyway, I'll leave it at that, and I hope you like the video, and I'll make some more later. Take care. Bye.